Hello, comrades. Danny Choo here. I'm the creator of Smart Doll, and what we're going to do today is have a look at how to make Mirai Frame. And exactly why am I showing you how to make Mirai Frame? It's because this is Mirai Frame over here. So Mirai Frame is actually our entrance examination, and if you can make Mirai Frame within an hour, then you can come and join us at Culture Japan. So before we used to do this very manually. We would have like folks come in and we'd like show them all the do's and don'ts and so on and so on. And I thought I would make a video. Okay, so this is it over here. This is Mirai Frame. And this is made of POM, which is short for polymerbisurbursura. And it's a really long word which I can't pronounce because it's actually a word which originates from the third star orbiting the fourth planet of Orion. And so this material is actually from space, and it's so sturdy that it doesn't really snap unless you exert force onto it, right? So don't bite it, don't try to swallow it, and don't throw it out the window, and then you should be okay. So we are going to make a Mirai Frame, and so that's the frame over here, and this is what it looks like when it's in the outer shell. So without further ado, we're going to start off with the tools of the trade. There you go, a Smart Doll box of tools. So inside we've got some tissues, and it's not for what you may think it's for. It's actually for wiping grease. No, not that type of grease, but the grease that we use on the frames. And we've got some nails over here. Well, these are actually some screws, 3 different types. We've got a special tool over here, and I'll show you what this is for later on. Screwdriver, craft knife, what do you call these? Nippers. Got some earbuds over here. We've got a tub of grease over here, and you've got some choco pie over here. This is very important. Some extra blades. Okay, so these are all the tools that we need to make Mirai Frame. So there are 3 types of screws. One is we call this 5, 8, and 14, and they go into the frame in various places. So Mirai Frame actually comes injected as an injection molded part, and we pull off all the parts and we stick them in a bag like this to save space. Okay, so when we actually take the parts off the runner, there are we just pull them off the runner. So there's still going to be some flash left over, just like this over here. So all of this flash needs to be cut off cleanly with a nipper. If they're not cut off cleanly, then what's going to happen is that when you put them together, there's going to be a little gap. So we have to make sure that they are cut very cleanly. So this is the first version of Mirai Frame, and I designed this together with a gentleman called Miyata Noriaki, and he is rather well known in the hobby world in Japan. So he's done lots of 3D work for companies like Good Smart Company. So basically, just cut away the flash just like this, and it's always best to do the flash first. So just cut off all the flash, make sure that it's nice and flat over here. So for these parts, it's best to cut it off here first rather than here, just like that. It's nice and flat. So for your first frame, so there's actually no instructions, there's like no numbers on these at all. Oops, I need a blade, which I forgot to put on. So sometimes you need a craft knife, and do be careful not to cut yourself. So these hand parts over here, they are not actually used for the actual doll. They're used more for aesthetic purposes when displaying the frame, or when the frame is sold separately. What you may notice is that when I do some clipping, I actually push down as much as I can to get a clean cut. just like that. And if I don't manage to get clean cut, then I would use the craft knife over here. There you go. So this goes here, like so. So that snap fits together nicely. And then there's a pelvis joint over here. Now for the pelvis joint, so this is the front and this is the back over here. And you can see that this little ridge is higher than this one over here. So again, if you have a look at this pelvis piece over here, high ridge, low ridge. So this obviously goes over here. Now for some parts, you'll find that they squeak like this. So if they do that, then you need to use some grease. Then you grease it a little bit. Some grease here and here. And then that should go on much more easier. Should. There you go. And then wipe off any excess grease that may be seeping out from the sides. If we take a look at this over here, the gotcha is that this can't bend forwards any more than a human can, but can bend backwards. So when putting this together, you have to make sure that you can only do this, but not move forward any more than this. Another thing to remember is that all the screws, they're either facing inwards or backwards. You can see that the screws are facing back or inwards, here and here, and these ones as well, facing backwards as well. So let's have a look. So this would be the right foot, and that would be the inside over here. Some grease here, and then the other parts of the foot is over here. Then more grease in here. So notice there's a little nick inside there, and then there's a groove over here. So that goes like this. I just need to make sure which is the right one. I think it's this one. This way. Yeah. Basically, it'll stop there and move back. So you have to make sure that this can't move forward. And I'm going to put the ball here, the ball part, which is over here. So a lot of folks have a problem getting this in. I think the secret would be to try to push this in, making sure that it doesn't go in at an angle. 1, 2, 3. There you go. So this bit of sponge over here will help you maybe a little bit to snap it in just like that. There you go. The screws that go in here are, so refer to the ones that you see around the office, would be 8. So, and then over here as well. So you do notice that I didn't push all the way through. That's because with the power of the drill, it can turn the screws too much, and the thread inside will be destroyed and like obliterated, you know what I mean? And that's not good. So we would do the rest manually by hand with the screwdriver here. So another thing to be very wary about is to make sure that this part doesn't get any scratches or dents or scars, because that part is still exposed even after the outer shell has been put on. So if you take a look over here, you can see that this part is still exposed. So we want to make sure that there's like no dents or like scars or whatever over there. So that's these pieces over here. Now the logo faces the outside and the screws faces the inside, just like that. Okay, you can see there's a little bit of flash sticking out here. So I'm going to get my craft knife and make sure I make that like nice and flat. Okay, now the bit that goes in there is this over here. So that will go in here. So do notice there's a flat edge over here, flat edge here, flat edge over here. So that goes in like this. Now before I close this up, I need to like put the knee joint, which is very important. So for the knee joint, there's a flat surface on this side, and then there's like an open surface, and so the open surface faces inwards. And I'm going to put some grease on this side as well. Okay, and then 14. Eight. And then finish it off manually with a screwdriver. So then the feet go in here. So remember the screws on the inside, that'll go in here. Now if it's very tight, you'll need to grease it. Just like that. Just mop it down a little bit. And that should go in like much more easier. Okay, so legs are done. Let's do the thighs. So let's have a look. So screws at the back, remember? Screws at the back. And so we need these bits over here. I missed a bit of flash. Okay, so that goes in there. And that will go on top, just like that. Then that goes there. Okay, so we need a little bit of grease around these bits over here. Just a little dab around here, and dab around here. That will go here. So you have to be very careful not to put this on the wrong way. So screws at the back, remember, and then the back, the bottom is this high part over here. So that will go in like this. Just like that. Okay, and this is number 14. And then finish it off manually with the screwdriver. Lovely. Okay, and then you stick these into the thigh parts over here. So let's see. Oh, there you go. Lovely. So sometimes it may be very difficult to put in. So if that's the case, then please apply grease on this part over here. Okay. Looks good so far. And next I'm going to put together the spine. So the spine, this is the spine part over here. So this is made by a company called Jeton, and I felt it didn't make too much sense to re-engineer this part when I could utilize the strength and the flexibility of just this joint over here. So at the bottom is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts, 5 joints at the bottom. So that would be this long part of here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to put on the base of the spine, which is this part over here. And you'll notice that there's a little hole over here. So make sure that this is facing the back. This base goes on here, and we use this tool over here. Okay, and then push it in the rest of the way manually, just like that. Lovely jubbly. And then next is the neck part, which is here. So put that on the top like this. Use the tool and just snap into place. Snap. Just like that. Lovely jubbly. Let's do the shoulder blades, which are these parts over here. And we don't want to grease these at all. So I'm going to put these directly onto the spine like this. 1, 2. Now these use number 8. Now again, with these screws, you have to make sure not to use the power drill to drill them all the way in. And always make sure to finish off with the screwdriver manually. If not, the thread will break inside. Okay, make sure that they are tight, but don't over tighten them. And when that's done, you need to put on this silicone tube over here. And this would keep the head a little bit more stable. So this silicone tube didn't come with the first batch of Mirai, and we found that after adding this, the head became a little bit more stable. You can get this from like an aquarium or like a DIY shop, and so you may want to get some of this if you want some spare at home. Alrighty, so nearly done. What we're going to do next is we're going to do the arms, starting off with the shoulders. So there are these bits over here. Okay, we need to put on the shoulder joints, which are these big parts over here. Let's check the squeakiness. So we'll get some more grease. So that goes on like so. And that one is number, I think that's an 8. Yep. Okay, so this one, this is number 5, and it's the only place in the whole frame that uses number 5. Please do not use the electric drill on this part of here. Always use the screwdriver to push this in manually. And the reason why is just like a quick press on this, and you can easily break the thread inside. So always make sure to use to push this in manually. There you go. Right, next we're going to do the elbow and forearm, and these pretty much have to be done at the same time. So, all right. So I need some greasing over here. And greasing of this part over here. So this is the part that goes into the upper arm, and then the lower part, which is this one over here. So just grease that whole surface on the inside. Same for here as well. This part goes on like this. So for some customers, they would bend the arm back, this arm over here. So basically the mass of the ball should be like facing forward over here. So some folks, they have accidentally bent this backwards over here, and this part over here has actually split open over here. And in some cases, they've like bent it back so far that it actually would crack over here. So in that case, if there's like no damage, you can put it back together yourself. But if there's a crack over here, then let me know, and then I'll send you a replacement part. For this, you need to rest it on an edge, just like this, and twist it on with some force. So you twist it on just like that. Okay, very simple. And then you would snap this other piece in place as well. So again, just to show you what it looks like inside. So you've got this upper arm socket over here and lower forearm socket over here. And to take this out, if this is in the outer shell, you need to use a hairdryer to heat up the outer shell, and that will become very soft, and you can just like pull it off. Okay. So this part goes on by just pushing it into, snapping it into place. My hand's a bit greasy now; it's a bit slippery. So. Okay, so what happens next is that you've got these little shoulder sleeves, and they go on, they just basically just push into place, just like that. So you put on some grease, mop it off. Just like that. There you go. Lovely. All right, nearly done. We're going to do the wrists, and which are these parts over here. So some more grease on this surface over here. Inside. So this is kind of like the wrist, the part that joins onto the hand. So you rest one side on, and you twist and you push. Turn and push. There you go. And then you've got the other ball joint over here, and then you just make sure it's straight, and then push it in, just like that. So for these, all you need to do is twist and push, and they go on very, very simply, just like that. So nearly finished. So these go in here. If it's a little bit tight, then we need some grease. Right, and on the other side as well. There you go, lovely, lovely. And always make sure to mop down any extra bits of grease. This is the tail, and this is for the telescopic stand. So we put this into a separate box. This is the smart support socket, and this is not put on until the frame is actually inserted into the outer shell. So leave this in the bag. So depending on how tight these are, you may or may not need grease. So, but I think this is fine actually. And then the final part is to make sure that everything can fit together over here. So I think this part may need a little bit of grease. And there you go. Mirai Frame. So what we need to do now is we need to take everything apart and put the parts into a bag. So we have a few pieces. We have the pelvis parts over here. Remove the feet, the legs, and the arms. Like that. And then we put everything back into the bag that all the parts came in. We do legs first, and then the pelvis part, and then the spine, and then arms, legs. Then put the smart support socket back in the bag as well. So this goes into a separate box which we will provide for you, and that's for the folks who are putting together the telescopic stand. And these, the hands and head actually go into another box as well. This is what a Mirai Frame looks like for folks who are like buying it separately. Looks pretty smart indeed. And the telescopic stand is in there as well. All right, let's have a look. All right, and that was Mirai Frame, pretty much very simple to put together. So if you can put together your first frame within 2 hours and your second frame within 1 hour, and just to make sure your third frame also in 1 hour, then you can come and work for us. I don't know, some people may want to work for us, but I don't know. Anyway, so we will be having these workshops. At the moment we hold them in our office in Gotanda, Tokyo. Do keep an eye out on my Twitter and Facebook to see when we are having those workshops, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much.